Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all of the panelists. I want to get to one very specific point. To me, it's obvious that the patchwork, the inconsistency potential, the uncertainty that would be created by self-implementation and enforcement by courts, that's a problem. That's a problem for me on lots of fronts. But I would like at least the two regulators to speak to the issue of if we were to tighten that up, put state primacy in place as it is in so many areas like this, and codify, codify the language in the EPA and certainly the definition of non-hazardous. Do the citizens of your states or any of our states lose their ability to appeal, to attend hearings, to complain? I mean, it's sort of like we're talking about either citizens have rights or the bureaucracy has rights, and the two can't go hand in hand. Because as a former regulator myself, frankly, we heard more from citizens in these hearings than we heard from any other person. To me, the local and state level is where you get more citizen interaction, not less. So could somebody elaborate on that for me? And then if there's time left, I certainly would welcome you as well to comment on that.
As far as SWAMO and our members, we feel that we're all in favor of minimum federal standards. We feel that the codification of it and the certainty of it is the key point that was missing in all this. No, we do not think that citizens will lose their ability to have public forum or further appealing of decisions. No, we feel that will continue.
And the thing that would help by having a federal law, and certainly the EPA rules will help, is that there are a number of states, luckily not including my own, where it is not allowed to have a more stringent regulation than the federal government. So having this federal rule and then having a law that says you must do this, I think will help a lot so that those states will have this program implemented at the state level. And you're right, at the state level, we have people on the ground in the field for the citizens to talk to, and they certainly can come, in our case, to Indianapolis, and they have legislators out there, and they do have a lot of input.
So, Mr. Schaefer, Mr. Holloman, same question, because this is a concern to me, frankly,
Right.
what you raised. I just want to ensure that what we're doing would not in any way negate citizens' access.
Is my microphone on? It's a good question, but we're really talking about two entirely different things. Citizens have the right under federal and state statutes to comment on, to be present at hearings, as you saw as a state commissioner, in determining whether a permit is put in place or what regulation is adopted. That's true. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about once your commission or in our state environmental commissions put in place a permit or regulation, and then the utility violates it. After the public has had input, they just violate it. They don't comply. And then the state agency, for whatever reason, which we have seen repeatedly, refuses to enforce the very permits, laws, and regulations that have been produced through this public comment period. So it makes it pointless. You go comment, you go through this process, which is important, as you say, but then the very state government that put this in place refuses to enforce what the citizens participated in creating. In fact, in our state, our Public Service Commission, which held hearings on this topic, one of the commissioners expressed shock that Duke had not yet moved its ash from one of the sites that was present there and was not complying with the permit and regs that our state regulatory agency had put in place.
So did this shocked commissioner have any opportunity to do something about it? In other words,
he did not,
you have
because
state
it wasn't
legislators, I assume they're elected, governors are elected. In the case of North Dakota, the Public Service Commission is elected. So I'm just seeing it, these things, including enforcement, being closer to the people seems to me to be better for the people than removing it from the people.
Well, no, it is in the hands of the people. The people who are taking this enforcement action are local community people going to their local state or local federal courthouse. These are people who live next door to you and me. These are people in the community. They have to be.
But I don't see this law or this principle being violating that principle.
As long as you all don't fool with or mess with the citizens' right to sue under RCRA, we still have that right to sue. And the citizens have the right to go forward and see that the law is enforced. But if you were to affect that, you are taking rights away from the people and saying they belong only to a bureaucracy which may or may not
Yeah,
act.
and the gentleman's time's expired. And I just want to assure people that there's no discussion, neither in the last bill, of alleviating or taking the citizen's right to sue out of RCRA. So you could rest comfortably in that.